y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Lesbian Line. This is episode 4. The theme is the lesbian decision. Okay, so what do I mean by that? For some people, they are at a very young age and they realize, hey, I don't like boys. Never have, never will. This is for all our gold stars out there. Some people just know. For other people, it's something that you figure out in your teenage years. And then we have, our late bloomers. For other people, it's a decision. There are certain people that are bisexual or have the ability to be bisexual, and they choose to date exclusively women, have the intention of marrying a woman, so on and so forth. And they make the decision to be in this lifestyle with all of its fun times and all of its qualms. I think, and we haven't even gotten into the stories yet, good Lord. I think for myself, there was a bit of a decision. I think if men weren't men, my life would look very different. And I think my thoughts on relationships with men would be different if men weren't men. So that definitely played a part. But that's a side note, okay? So before we jump into these stories, we have to read our disclaimer, as we do. Hey everyone, just a quick heads up before we dive in. I am not a medical professional or therapist. This is all just commentary, conversation, and community. This whole project is inspired by my doctoral research, which is all about exploring how queer people learn, share, and reflect on relationships online. We'll be diving into queer stories found on social media like Reddit, Instagram, or stories that you send in. Everything that we talk about will be linked below so you can read the original stories for yourself. Thanks for being here. Now, let's get on the lesbian line. So let's get into our first story. It is called Fear of Marrying a Woman. Hi all. I'm hoping to start therapy soon. I love a good therapist. I'm not in therapy right now. I'm taking a hiatus, but I do plan on going back to therapy. There are so many benefits of having a safe space to share your thoughts and feelings. And I know especially for me, when I have crisis moments, I do need a therapist for those moments. So I am very grateful that therapy exists, and I'm very grateful for all of the therapists that I've had in the past. I've been very blessed to have wonderful therapists, and I can't speak enough about therapy. It's great. Okay, anyway, in the meantime, I wanted to seek help here. Okay, honey, we're here for you. I'm a bi woman. I've dated men and women, but I think deep down I'm more attracted to women. The issue is I grew up religious. I finally accepted that I do not believe in, subscribe to, Christianity, but the residual guilt and shame of being gay exists. I accept that I'm into women. I think I just fear the way I'll be treated by my extended family and the world if they knew. I told myself I'd only come out to extended family if there's a woman I'm serious about. I've avoided dating women the past few years because the idea of dating a man is easier. I don't know if that's truly what I want or if it's just what I've been conditioned to believe. Currently, I'm falling in love with my best friend who is also a woman. It feels amazing and it's mutual. I've grown up saying that I want to marry a man and have a family and kids. I still want a family and kids, but I want to become okay with the idea of marrying a woman. If I did not have the religious background, I feel I'd be far more okay with marrying a woman. The idea of cutting off my best friend because I'm scared seems wrong and inauthentic. I'd hate myself for not trying at what could be the best relationship of my life. I guess I'm reaching out to see if anyone else can relate. Have any of you been where I am and eventually found peace with yourself? I feel like I'm going crazy. Okay, girly pop. Okay, we should address the religion thing. Whenever I speak about religion with people, I always try to be really careful with how I speak about religion. You, as a human person, get to decide what religion you follow, and you should have freedom for that. I, too, grew up with a Christian background and have since left. I actually left before I was 18, before I was allowed to leave, and that was a whole thing. But anyway, you get to choose what religion you follow. With that being said, if you choose to be Christian and to follow the Christian faith, then it should be considered what type of Christianity. There's so many different kinds of Christianity. Some churches are all fire and brimstone and you can't do anything. Some people are more flexible in their Christianity. You have churches that, you can't eat shrimp and you can't wear mixed fabric clothing and you can't play with the skin of a pig. And then you have places that are a bit more open-minded. I think that considering what church you're going to, what you're hearing, because as an adult, you get to decide what church you go to, what pastor or religious leader you're listening to, and what you're taking into your body. I think there's a fair bit of brainwashing that goes into the Christian faith, and it makes it very difficult for people to live in their authentic self. And I think that being really careful about what you are exposing yourself to is really important. I can understand why religion would be difficult for you. I would consider doing some research on what the unedited version of the Bible says, because while I am not a religious expert, if memory serves me correctly, it doesn't explicitly say anything about lesbian relationships. Don't quote me. But I really don't think it says anything about religious Jesus. I really don't think it says anything about lesbian relationships. I don't think it forbids, or you would have to do your own research on that. But I think it's a Christian understanding too, that it's your responsibility to read the Bible and interpret the Bible and not trust anyone else because they can lead you into sin. So I really think that's important. Like, if you do make the decision to be Christian, you definitely have to lean on your understanding. Like, you can go to church and have that community and that love surrounding you and people that understand you, but also it's getting into the text yourself and getting into like the side text too, like the Book of Enoch and all the other. I'm not a religious expert. I just know a few things. Okay, I spent a few years in there. But I think that if that's the religion that you want, then, you can make it work for you. And there are churches that, when they say love thy neighbor as Jesus loved the church, they mean it. And they're not picking and choosing, well, we love our neighbors except the gay ones. We love our neighbors except, the lesbian ones. Like, it's not like that. There are nice churches that exist. There are nice Christian people. Are they a bit more difficult to find? Maybe. But they do exist. And it's not all hate the sin, love the sinner. Like, it gets better. There are good Christians in the world, I think. Well, I really want to believe that. But as far as what to do with your best friend, it seems like you're falling in love. That's what you said. And I'm happy for you. Falling in love is no easy feat, especially if you're falling in love in a healthy way. I think that you should give it a chance. I think that there's no reason why you can't have everything that you want with her. You can get married to her. You can have children with her. There's no one saying that you can't. And as far as, your extended family, do these people pay your bills? That sounded to me. Okay, let me dial it back. Dial it back. Wouldn't it be nice? What I meant to say was, you cannot live your life for other people. When you get to the end of your life and you're looking back on everything that you did and everything that you didn't get to do, that's going to be your own journey of looking back. It's not going to have anything to do with your extended family. So making their opinion more important than yours is not going to serve you at all. If those people have opinions, they can have them. Everyone has opinions. I'm having an opinion right now. Everybody has opinions, but you deserve to be happy in this life. You get to live this one life as yourself, this one time before, your spirit goes back to source. You're Christian, so before your spirit goes back to God. And when you go back to God, like, there's going to be a review of what you did while you were here on earth, and denying yourself happiness. Like, no one's going to give you a cookie for that. Like, no, you're here. You're not harming anyone. You're not doing anything shameful. You're just loving on someone, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I hope that you two have the best love story, and you deserve it. You both deserve it. Okay, so let's see what some of these comments say. Do not end it because of what others might say. My grandma, who literally said gay people should burn in hell, loves my girlfriend and literally treats her so well. 10-year-old me would have never thought that. Yeah, agreed. You can't be living out here for these people. Someone else said, there are a lot of reasons to be scared of marrying a man too. Just saying. Girl, yeah. How many relationships have we all seen where the woman takes care of everything and the man is just along for the ride and demands care as well? Or worse, uses his power to control or not be nice? Just because women and men together is what we are used to seeing does not mean that there is less to be afraid of. That's true. Question, is your best friend also bi, pan, or lesbian? She's a lesbian. Okay. All right. So I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is. You could be happy right now. Like, no. When other people are thinking about, the things that are gonna make them happy and the things that they want to do, they are not thinking about you. They are not considering your opinion. So you got this one life, okay? And you have a good time in it. You love that girl, okay? And you treat her right. Okay. So the next story is just a metaphor for people that are trying to make the lesbian decision, for people that don't know if they want to live their life in an alternative way, for people that may struggle with, maybe they have a boyfriend, maybe they have a husband, maybe they're a late bloomer and they've spent their whole life in a heteronormative way and they're thinking about making a change. This is just a metaphor, but I thought it was a beautiful story. And I wanted to share it with y'all. Okay. So this story is called Hiking Boots. This morning, my ex-husband sent me a text where he posited that I never loved him as fully as he loved me, which just makes me feel like 22 years of my life was wasted. So I wrote him a little story that reduces everyone to shoes. I apologize in advance. No need to apologize. We're here for it. So I grew up thinking that I might never find a pair of great hiking boots, but I needed hiking boots badly. Everyone knew that I needed hiking boots. I simply couldn't do life without hiking boots. And when I was 21, I found them, and they were actually the perfect pair of hiking boots. They were better than all of the other hiking boots out there. They had orange laces and were real leather and fit me almost perfectly. I loved wearing these boots. They looked great and they were comfortable. I showed them off to everyone. Everyone wanted my boots. I treasured these boots. I loved them more than anything. I took great care of them, but not as well as they took care of me. These boots carried me places I just couldn't go barefoot. Over rocks, through water, through dirt, through grass. And then one day, when I was 42, someone said, you should try on this new shoe. And I said, but that's not a hiking boot. I need hiking boots. And they said, but maybe you don't actually need hiking boots. Maybe you aren't a hiker. Maybe you're outfitted incorrectly. So I tried on this other pair of shoes. I took one step and then another. These shoes were soft and stable and bouncy that it made my entire body relax. These new shoes changed my posture. They made me walk lighter and quicker and felt like nothing on my feet. They weren't actually better shoes, but they fit me perfectly. They were pink and orange and matched everything in my life. After trying on these new shoes, I couldn't go back to my hiking boots, even though I had always loved them, even though I had always treasured them, even though they carried me over the most rugged and rough terrain I'd ever encountered, even though I wanted to. But there was never, ever a lack of love for my hiking boots. I loved them with my full capacity. I appreciated where they took me, and I was proud and happy and loved wearing those boots. It's not even that I have more love for my new shoes. It's just that they fit me perfectly. They are suited to needs that I didn't know I had. They align with my body. They make me feel light on my feet and stable. They make me want to run and jump and dance and fly. And I was never much of a hiker anyway, even in my perfect hiking boots. And that's the story, y'all. I just thought that was so good for people that are in that in-between, for the late bloomers, for people that are just not sure. Because this lifestyle, at the end of the day, it is a choice to be made. And it's not one that you should go in lightly. So that was great. Okay, so we are almost at the end of our episode. But before we go, I wanted to do a a quick queer media minute where I tell you about a book and a movie just to keep it queer, keep it cute. The book that I am suggesting you read is The Confessions of Frannie Langton. The Confessions of Frannie Langton is a gripping historical Gothic mystery about a formerly enslaved Black woman in the 1820s in London, accused of murdering her wealthy employers, the Benhams, a story that powerfully centers on her deep, passionate love affair with her mistress, Marguerite Benham. I know, right? I know. Period pieces, we love them. Exploring queer desire, racial identity, and female agency against brutal society constraints. All told, as Frannie writes her story from prison to reclaim her truth, is poignant, often painful, unapologetic, and sapphic, and set within a larger narrative of power, race, and survival, revealing the realities of a Black woman's experience in Georgian England. Me and myself personally, I love a period piece, and the fact that this is queer and just lesbian, it's just eat it up. It's so good. Okay, the next one that I want to tell you about, the movie, is called Fried Green Tomatoes. It's also a book, but the movie, it's not out there lesbian. It's not. But it's about a powerful bond between two women, Ruth and Iggy, whose deep connection has been interpreted by many as a romantic relationship. Now, this comes across way more in the book, but the movie is also really, really good and really, really cute. It's a Southern drama that touches on friendship, love, and community. It's one of those movies that's just a feel-good kind of movie, and the connection that these two have as they raise a child together, it's just so good. It's so good. If you have never read Fried Green Tomatoes or seen the movie, I highly, highly suggest it because it's really, really good. You're gonna like it. If you decide to read or watch the movie that's suggested, leave me a comment and let me know what you think, and maybe we can have a conversation about it because these two are both good. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode. If you like what you hear, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. It helps more folks find us and keep this space growing. Thanks for being here. Thank you for coming. And see you next time on the Lesbian Line. Bye.